Today we will discuss ratios, what exactly are ratios, and how that concept could be tested in various ways in exam. So let's start with the ratio. So can anyone of you tell what exactly a ratio?
Ratio means the portion of something from to someone, something like that. That means the 2/4 is something like that. Two two part of 5.
Okay, so basically ratio is a relation between two similar quantities having same units. And this is a fraction which could be from part to part and or part to a total value. For example, if I told you that we have a ratio between P and Q, ratio between P and Q is 1:2 exactly. So what this mean? Okay, first of all, tell me one thing. How we actually represent a ratio? There are various ways to represent a ratio. First way is in P ratio Q form. If I say the ratio P ratio Q, I can write this as in this form. I can also write this as in this form. I can also write this as in P to Q as a P to Q. I can also write the same thing as for every P, there are for every P items, there are Q items. And one is based on the factor. I can write this as Px for X is some multiple. Px plus Qx is equal to total. If I know the total or if I know the any one of these, I can find the other values. These are just several ways in which a ratio can be presented in a column form, in a fraction form, in P to Q form, in a written form, idiomatic form, and the last one in the with relation with the total. And these are some multiples that we will see in detail what are these actually. For example, if I say that, and remember one thing, whenever you're asked about the ratio in the question, that will be in the simplest form, in the lowest form. For example, if I say that the ratio of P to Q is 1:2, this is in its lowest form. This is also same as if I write this as 2:4, or if I write this as 3:6, right? All of these are same. This is lowest form.
Yes.
This is if I multiply this whole with the 2, both of these with the 2, and if I multiply both of these with the 3. So based on these, I can write this as 1 into some multiple x and 2 into some multiple x, right? And let me ask you one thing. For example, if the ratio is 1:2, right? And if I say if I add 2 in both, 2 in this and 2 in this as well, so what is the new ratio? Can you tell based on this set, which we provided, the ratio of P to Q is 1:2. And if I add 2 in both of these in P and Q, so what is the new ratio? Can you find?
2/4. So 3/4.
No. I just told you that this is its simplest form. We don't know the actual value of P over Q. What is the actual value of P and what is the actual value of Q? It is just based on the multiple. In actual, for example, if P is 4 and Q is 8, right? The ratio is 1:2. But we don't know what is the exact value of P and Q, right? So based on that, unless we know the exact value, we cannot predict the new ratio. Got the point? Because this is the simplest form. Actually, this is like x over 2x plus 2 plus 2. There could be multiple interpretation. If x is 1, the value is different. If x is 2, the value is different. If x is 3, the value is different, right? So just based on the ratio, we cannot add or subtract directly to the ratio to find the new ratio unless we knew the exact value of both. And this is pretty common pretty common concept which is tested in exam, right? Everyone got my point?
Yes.
But we can multiply or divide. For example, if I multiply For example, if we have ratio 1:2, and if I multiply Q with 2 and P with 2 and Q with 3, the ratio will change. If this is multiplied with the 2 and this with the 3, the ratio will become 1:3, right? So just keep in mind, unless we know the exact value, we cannot add or subtract to find the new ratio, but we can multiply and divide to find the new ratio. Got the point?
Yes.
Okay. So for example, if I say you that the ratio of A ratio B is equal to, for example, 1:2, and I know A is equal to 20. So what is the value of B?
It's 40.
Yeah, we have A ratio B is equal to 1/2, and we know the exact value of A, which is 20. So B will become 40, right? Okay, so one more thing. If we know the exact value, we can find the ratio, but just by knowing the ratio, we cannot find the exact value, right? Okay, so there is another common concept, which is about the proportion. For example, if this is usual statement written about proportion, A ratio B proportion C ratio D, right? Which is also written as A over B is equal to C over D. We can also play, how can we play this proportion? This is same as if you write this as B over A is equal to D by C. I just cross multiply and change the value and just find that, right? I can also write this as A over C is equal to B over D. And in the same, if I add 1 on both sides, this will become A plus B over B is equal to C plus D over D, right? And if I subtract 1 on both sides, this will become A minus B over B is equal to C minus D over D, right? These are just a different forms, which is at least same. We will see a question in the end that how these could be tested, right? So shall I move forward?
Yes, sure.
If anyone of you is confused any parts, please let me know. Okay, so the next thing is about combining ratios. For example, if I have A ratio B is equal to 1:2 and B ratio C is equal to 2:3. If I ask what is A ratio B ratio C, can you quickly tell that? Yeah, this is a very simple case. First of all, see what is a common in both, which is B, and B has exactly the same value. So we can write this as 1:2:3. But if I change the value, and if I write this as A ratio B is equal to 3:4, and B ratio C is equal to 5:6. Now tell, how can I find the value of A ratio B ratio C?
15, 20, and 34.
They see what is a common in both, that is B. In case I can come up with the same value for B in both, then I can combine these. So the best way is just take the LCM of whatever the values are B in both. What is the LCM of 4 and 5?
20.
20. Now, how can I come up 20 in place of B in first ratio?
5 multiplying 5 multiplying 4.
Yes. And this will become 15:20. And
Yes.
how can I come up 20 in the second ratio?
24 multiplying 4. 20 into
This will
30.
20 into 24.
24. Yes,
Right.
24.
Now, okay, I can combine these. A ratio B ratio C is equal to 15:20:24. Right. Just take away, just see the common term, which is a common term in both. And if that is same in both, just move as it is. But if that is not the same, first take the LCM and try to come up that value in both of these. And when you have the same value in both, then you can straightforward just come up with the A ratio, B ratio, C relationship, right? Okay, so we have discussed most of the part. One more very important concept is about it is actually known as a varying concept, which include direct proportional, and inverse proportional. If I say that we have a quantity A and quantity B, and quantity A is directly proportional to B, right? This is a sign shows that proportional. And if this is directly proportional to B, we write this way. What this means? First of all, if we open this, there will be a constant in place of this, and this will multiply with B. This means if I increase the B with 1 unit, there is a constant increase in A, right? I can also write this as A over B is equal to constant, which means that if you are having a direct relation, so the ratio between A and B will always be a constant, right? And if I have more than one values for A and B, I can write this as A1 B1 is equal to A2 B2 equal to A3 B3 up till AN over BN. We will solve question for these to get an idea about this. And the next thing is inverse relation. If I say that A is inversely proportional to B, then I will write this way, right? Again, this is for direct proportional and this is for inverse proportional, right? So this will be A is equal to, if I open this sign, this will become constant into 1 by B. And this means their product is always constant when we are talking about inverse proportional, right? And if we are having a more than one value, this could be A1 B1 is equal to A2 B2 is equal to A3 B3 up to AN BN, whatever the value is, right? Got the idea? And these two could be tested in combined. If I say that A is directly proportional to B and A is also inversely proportional to C, I can combine this as A is directly proportional to B over C. This is direct relation and this is inverse relation. So if I open this sign, this will become A is equal to constant into B by C. And this means AC over B is always constant, right? Okay, so this was just a generalized idea about the ratios. Now we will solve plenty of questions that will involve all of the concepts. That's how the ratio would be tested. And if you have still any doubt, you can ask me. Shall I move forward now?
Yes.
Okay, just quickly solve this question. Okay, so what's the answer to this question?
81B.
Yes, 81. This is a very simple question. We have 3 necklaces made up of emerald, let's call emerald BE, rubies BR, and diamond BD. The ratio of emerald to diamond is equal to 2:7, and the ratio of diamond to rubies is 3:2, right? Okay, so the question is saying which of the following could not be the number of jewels on the neck in the necklace, right? This means total number of jewels. So how can we combine these ratios, E ratio, D ratio, R? we have common D in both sides, and just take the LCM. LCM is 21. And how can we have 21 in the first ratio? If I multiply this with the 3, right? So this will become 6 ratio 21. And the second one is, if I multiply this with the 7, this will be 21 ratio 14. Right? So if I combine these, this will become E ratio D ratio R is equal to 6 ratio 21 ratio 14.
Yes.
Right? And I can also write this as 6 as x ratio 21x ratio 14x. So if I ask to find the total value, I will just add all of these. This will be 6x plus 21x plus 14x. What is this value? This is 41x. 42x. Yes, 42x, right? And
how is it at 14x? I didn't get here. Is it 6, 21 and 14? How is it 14?
It's 41 only.
41, only 41. Yes.
Yeah, 42.
what you are saying?
21 is to 21 into 14. 14, not on 14.
This is 14.
Yes, that's the mistake.
This is not. This is 14, right? So what is the value here? If I add all of these,
41x.
42x.
42x, 41x, not 42x. This is 41x. So this is 41x,
yes, 41.
right? Now, can we have 41x equal to 41 when x is equal to 1? Yes. If x is 2, this will become 82, right? All of these are possible except B, which is 81. Yes, we can do that way as well. We will discuss that technique as well. Okay, so shall I move forward? This is extremely basic question. Okay. Again, a question of same nature. You have just quickly solve this question. And now try to solve visually instead of solving. So what's the answer? I want all of you to solve with me.
Ratio of the number. Wait a minute.
Please mute yourself. A or B?
A.
A.
A. Yes, exactly. This is A.
A.
A is 21 and B is 20.
Yes. Not 20, some multiple, right? Okay.
Sorry, sir.
The ratio of number of graduate to, let this be G and this be P, and a third one be U, right? And the thing is, we have G ratio P is equal to 5 ratio 3, and we have U ratio G equal to 4 ratio 7, right? So we have common G in both, and one is 5, one is 7. What is the LCM of these? That will be 35, right? So just multiplying 7 with the first, this will become 35 ratio 21, and multiplying second with the 5, this is 20 ratio 35. Now this is G ratio P ratio U. This is graduate, postgraduate, and undergrad, right? This is equal to 35 ratio 21. What is P? 21, yes, and this is 20. And the question is saying number of postgraduate. And what is postgraduate? 21. And this is exactly some multiple, which we exactly don't know. This is X. This is also X, right? So P is 21X. This is 21X. And the number of undergrad is 20X, right? So they can straightforward get that quantity is greater, right? Just keep in mind, here we have a same variable X, but there could be a scenario that if we have X here and Y here, we will see that question as well. Just giving you idea that you can find a relation of those if you're having the same variable. But let's suppose you have X here and you have Y here, then you cannot solve this question in this scenario. Anyone is with me?
Yes.
Okay. Just solve this question for now. Yeah, just solve this question.
C.
What's the answer?
C.
C. Okay. Any other answer?
D.
D.
Yeah.
Yes. Any other answer? Shall I solve?
D.
Anyone is still solving?
D.
Okay. The question is saying that a water bottle cost X and the cola bottle cost Y. The ratio of cost of 2 bottles of water and water bottle cost X and 5 bottle of cola to 6 bottle of water and 15 bottle of cola equals to 1:3, right? Just solve this. This will become 6x plus 15y is equal to 6x plus 15y. Now you can assume that the answer is C, right? But that is not the case. You can take any values for x and y. This will always equal because we have same quantities on both sides. Either you can take x smaller than y or y greater than x, doesn't matter. These both sides will always be equal. That's why we cannot find the value of x and y from this relation. Got the point? If you take x as 1 and y as 2, if you take x as 2 and y as 1, in both of the situation, same relation will hold. That's why we cannot find in this scenario what is the value for 1 bottle of water and cost for 1 bottle of cola. Got the point?
Yes. Thank you.
And just skipping some very simple question. Okay. Okay, so what's the answer to this question? And this was the concept of proportion you can saw earlier. And you can quickly solve it just by visualization. So which of the following can be true? Is A is possible?
Yes.
Yes,
A
A is possible.
Is
B
B
is possible. Yes, B is possible.
Is C possible?
C. Yes, C is possible.
And is D possible?
B. No.
Why?
A plus B equal to -5. Yes, possible. Yes.
It is possible. Just simply assume 5 and 7.
Yes, possible. Yes.
Exactly. This is a very simple question. We have A plus B over C is equal to 5/7, right? First one is simple, just cross multiply. This will become C over A plus B is equal to 7/5. Yes, this is possible. The second one is just add 1 on both sides. This will become A plus B plus C over C is equal to 5 plus 7, 12/7. Yes, this is also possible. Third one is just subtract 1 from both sides. and the result will be -2/7. Yes. And the last one is very simple. You have -5 or -7. And that will just negative will cancel out. This will be 5/7. Yes. I even got this right.
Yeah.
Now just solve this question. Okay, so what's the answer to
B.
this question?
B.
B. Okay, any other answer? Whoever got B just missed a simple thing. Just see that again.
D.
Yes, the answer to this is D, not B. The question is saying that on Monday, the class has 8 girls and 20 boys, right? On Monday, the ratio of girls to boys, right? If I take girls to boys ratio, that is 8/20, and this will be 2/5, right? And a question on Tuesday, a certain number of girls joined the class, just as twice that number of boys left the class. Okay, on now Tuesday, what happened? That exactly what happened? Happening that a certain number of girls joined the class, just as twice number of boys left the class. For example, X number of girls joined the class, and twice such number of boys left the class, right? And next thing is changing the ratio of girls to boys is 7:4, 7:4, right? At first we have 8 girls and we have 20 boys, and X girls join, and as a result of that, twice of that boys left, changing the ratio to 7/4, right? Now just solve this, and that will be 32 plus 4x is equal to 140 minus 14x, right? So this will be 18x is equal to 108 and x is equal to 6. Wow, so anyone can assume from here that 6 is the answer. But the question is saying total number of boys left, and x is the number of girls joined, but the number of boys left are twice of that. So that's why the answer is 2x, which is 2 into 6, which is 12. In exam, you will see that the options are designed in a way that if you miss a single catch in the question, you might did that question wrong, but you will still get the answer in the options, right? So that's how the ETS trap usually in the cont section. So be mindful of the common mistakes. Okay, shall I move forward?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so in this question, it asks that at a certain school, the ratio of number of second graders to the number of fourth graders, second graders to fourth graders, is 8:5. For easiness, I will call this as second and this as fourth. So the ratio of second to fourth is equal to 8/5. Let's call this the first. And the ratio of the number of first grader, and let me call this as first, to the number of second graders is 3/4. And the second one is first ratio second is equal to 3/4. And the third one is if the ratio of number of third grader to the number of fourth grader, and this one is 3/4 is equal to 3/2. The question is saying what is the ratio of number of first grader to the number of third grader? And we are asked that what is the ratio of first over third, right? There are various ways to proceed with this. And okay. Now, just quickly writing again, if I have second by 4 is equal to 8/5, this is first one. And the second one is if I have first by second is equal to 3/4. And in third one, if I have third by fourth equal to 3/2. At first, I will try to come up with a common 4. For example, we have 2/4 and 3/4. In case if I come with the common 4, I can combine 2, 3, and 4. Based on that, I will take 1 and 2 in consideration. For example, this is 5, right? And this is 2. So what is the LCM of these? LCM is 10, right? So if I multiply this with 2, this will become 16/10. And if I multiply this with 5, this will become 15/10, right? Now, 4 is common in both. Now see, for second we have 16, and for second we have 4. How can I come up with 16 here if I multiply this with 4? So this will become 12/16, right? Now the question becomes very simple. What is the question? What is the ratio of number of first grader to the number of third grader? And now we have first grader. Let's call this as X, right? Is 12X, and third grader is 15X, because we have converted all of these into equivalent ratio. And for third, this will be 15X. Now just take the ratio 12X/15X equal to 4/5. I haven't got this. I did same thing. Instead of writing, I just do this visually. First, I combine these two. Then based off this, that I combine this with those. First, I combine these two. And just based on that, I combine those with second one. So I have equivalent values for all. And from that, I just take the first, which is 12X, and for third, which is 15X. And that's the question asked, the ratio of first grader to third grader, which is 12X/15X, which is in lowest form 4/5. Anyone is with me, right?
Can you please explain with
yes.
first is to second, the middle part? I couldn't get. How did you get to 12X?
You got till how I combine these two?
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, after that.
Okay, so just I can write this as second ratio third ratio fourth. This is 16 ratio 10, not 10, 15 ratio 10, right? Now see, I have already combined first and third one. Now if I have to combine the second one, what is the common thing in both? That is 2, right? And we have 16 here, but we have 4 here. How can I make 16 if I multiply that with 4? So I am multiplying denominator and numerator with 4. This will become 12/16. Now the first ratio second is equal to 12/16. Now we have all of these common. 2 is common in both. Now you can combine all of these: first ratio second, ratio third, ratio fourth. So what is first? 12 ratio 16, ratio 15, ratio 10. Now we can, what the question asks, the question is saying the ratio of number of first to the ratio of third, which is 12 by 15, and that is 4 by 5. Got the point?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Let's solve this question. I'm just leaving these questions for you. You will solve this later. Okay, now solve this question. Okay, so what's the answer to this question?
Eight by 3.
Someone is saying 8 by 3. Any other answer? Anyone is solving? Yes. Anyone is solving, or shall I move forward? Keep this thing in consideration. Fraction curve measurements are possible. So whatever the multiple is, that could be a fraction, not the integer, always integer in this case. Okay. Question is saying that oil, vinegar, and water are mixed in the ratio 3:2:1. Let's oil be O, vinegar be V, and water be W is equal to 3:2:1. And let their multiple be X. So this will be 3X, ratio 2X, ratio X. If Larry has 8 cups of oil, 8 cups for this, 7 cups for vinegar, and infinite excess for water, what is the maximum number of cups of salad dressing he can make with the ingredients he has available? And remember, the fraction cup measurements are possible. Okay, so now see, if we have 8 cups of oil and we have these ratios, so if I just equate these and see what are the possible values of X in this case. In one case, X is 8 by 3, which is, if you just simplify this, you can write this as 6 plus 2 by 3. This is 2 plus 2 by 3, which is 2.667, right? And this is for oil. And for vinegar, 2X is equal to 7 and X is equal to 7 by 2, which is 3.5. And we have infinite access for water. Just leave that. Now tell what will be the value of X I will take. I will take whether 2.6667 or 3.5. Just see, the question is saying maximum number of cups. You must take 2.667. Now anyone of you could ask that why I haven't take 3.5. Because if I take 3.5, I don't have that much of oil. I will take the least value so that I can have a maximum all of these. Even getting my point, what I'm trying to say. you have to maintain this ratio 3:2:1, and you have to have a representative x in these same x, right? If I take 2.6, I could have all of these present. But if I take x 3.5, I could have this present, this, but this is not possible in that scenario. For that, I need to have a 3 into 3.5 of oil, which is not possible. We have maximum 8. That's why we will take the minimum value of x so that all of these are possible. So that's why what is this? 3 plus 2, 6, 6x. So 6 into 2.6 is exactly 8/3. So this is 3 into 2, 6, or this is 16. So 16 cups are possible based on what is scenario provided us with. Anyone got the point? So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to come up with different type of ideas that how ratios could be tested. Now try this question. In this, there is some sort of multiplication and division in the ratio concept. Try this question.
B.
B or D?
B.
B. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other answer?
B.
B, 48.
Okay. This is a very simple question. The initial ratio of 3 variables, x ratio y ratio z, is equal to 3:24:100. The question is saying that value of x, y, z are changed such that the ratio of x to z, the initial ratio of x to z is 3:100, is doubled. So if this ratio is doubled, this means we can also write this as this way, right? 3/100. If this is double, just multiply this with 2. So this will become 6/100 or 6:100. Just keep this, don't simplify a bit further. The next thing is, while the ratio of y to z, what is the ratio of y to z? That is 24:100 is halved, right? So 24/100 is halved. I can write this as 12/100. So this is 12:100. What is the new ratio of y? What is the new value of y? Right now, just combine these: x ratio y ratio z. What is x? 6. What is y? 12. And what is z? That is 100. Right? Okay. Now the question is saying if the new value of x is 24, right? If the new value of x is 24, what is the new value of y? Okay, so if you want to simplify, this will become 3:6:50. You can write this as 3x/6x/50x. And we are given that 3x is equal to 24 and x came out to be 8. So what is a new value of y? And in this, the y is 6x, right? So 6 into 8, that is 48. This is our required answer. Anyone is with me?
Yes. Even we can simply multiply to get
Yes.
24.
You
Yes.
can solve that way. I myself do this to have a better simplification of this. Okay. Just leave this, leave this. Try this question. Okay, so B pick, what is the answer to this?
D.
B
D. D.
is a multiple choice answer, right?
D.
D.
D,
D. D. D for Delhi.
B for belly.
A,
B for
B,
ball.
A, B.
A and B. Anyone is solving or shall I start solving?
Oh.
Okay. One is Beth and one is Ari. Beth has 1/4 more money than Ari. How can we write this? Is this Beth has 1/4 more than Ari? Or this is Beth is
Sorry, it will be
1/4?
It can be C also.
Yes. I'm asking if this statement is right or this statement is right.
First statement is right. First one is right.
No,
Second one
second one is right.
Second one
Second
is
one
right.
is right.
Beth has
Yep.
1/4 more money than 1/4 means 25% more money than Ari. 1/4 is not a numerical value. That is actually a percentage. And Beth is having 1/4%, which means 25% of more money than the Ari, right? Okay, so Beth has 1 plus 1/4 more money than Ari. And you should know what is 25%, what is 75%, 50%. These are very basic percentages. You should remember exact value. So what is 3/4? Big. What is 3/4? 75%.
Yep. 75%.
Okay, so what is 2/3?
66.6 gap.
66.675.
7%. Okay, so what is 1/8?
Borrow
12.5%.
2.5.
Okay, and one last. What is 1/9? 11.1%. You should know these. Okay, so Beth has 1/4 of more money than Ari, right? So please mute yourself. Okay, this will be B is equal to A into 5/4. And this means if I write in form of ratio, B by A is equal to 5/4, right? And if I write this with multiple, this is 5x over 4x. And the next thing is each person has an integer number of dollars. Which of the following could be the combined value of Beth and every money? So what is a combined? That will be 5x plus 4x, which is 9x.
9x.
So which of the following are the possible values of
Yes.
9x, keeping in mind that x is an integer? So can 9x equal to 12? No, in this case, x is not an integer. 9x equal to 54, yes. 9x equal to 72, yes. And 9x equal to 200, no. in these two cases, x is a fraction, but only in these two cases, x is a integer value, right?
Right.
Now let's change the question type. Okay, just be quick. What is answer to this question? Just take 10 seconds. What is the answer?
E.
Okay, anyone else? One got E.
E.
A? Okay, so one got A and one got E.
Which actually can be ABCD also, like could be if
Yes,
you
yes.
consider.
We have ratio 7/8. And this is actually with some multiple x, right? And for example, if you consider x as 1, so this will be 7/8, and add 2 in it, this will become 9/10. Well, the answer is C. But if you consider x as 2, this is 14/16. If you add 2 in these, this will become 16/18, which is 8/9. Wow, the answer is A. That's why just based on the ratio, we cannot find the exact new ratio if we are adding some value in both of these, unless we are pretty sure about what is the value of x here. That's why the answer to this is that we cannot determine what is actually the new ratio.
Yes. You mentioned it before.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Just solve this later. Yeah, just solve
No,
this.
but I'm saying the question at could be. So A and C are also feasible answers, right? That previous question.
The thing is, in this question, if this is a multiple choice option, yes, you can figure out. But if there is one answer to be chosen, that you have to choose E, you cannot determine.
Yeah.
Right? Solve this question. This is from the concept of directly proportional. Yes. Okay, so what's the answer to this question?
A is greater than
B. B.
B or A?
A.
A. Wow.
Answer is A.
Someone is saying A and someone is saying is B. Okay, so the question is saying that the height of a ball would reach when thrown in upward direction is, let height be h, is directly proportional to the square of its weight. Is directly proportional, let the weight be w square, right? So just open it, this will be h is equal to some constant into w square. And this constant is equal to h over w square, right? Okay, and x gram of heavy ball when thrown upward, right, which is a constant, a height of 2 feet. Okay, so how we'll proceed further from this?
If it reaches 2 feet, then it must be 4 gram in weight.
So h by x square equal to 2.
A is very less. A is
Listen,
very
here
less.
h is equal to 2 and the weight is x grams, right? This is 2 by x square. Did I write this right or wrong? So first, based on scenario, we just come up with that we have constant value, which is 2 by x square. First thing, right? Now the next thing is the height at which x over 2 ball would reach when thrown upward, right? I told you earlier that when we have the mode values and we had direct relation, right? We can write this as x1 over y1 is equal to x2 over y2, right? Likewise, we have 2 over x here is constant, and based on this, what is height which we need to find now, and what is the weight here? This is x by 2 square, right? So this is 2 by x square is equal to h by x square over 4. So x square will cancel out. So h will be equal to 2 into 1 by 4, and h is equal to 1 by 2. So height in this is equal to 1 by 2, and quantity b is 1. That's why quantity b is greater. Everyone got this? Okay, so no one is responding. I will proceed further. Now the next question is for the inverse proportion. Yeah, very simple question. Just quickly solve this question. Okay, so what's the answer to this question? What? D?
C,
C?
maybe.
Any other answer? No one? Okay. The question is saying A and B are positive numbers and A is inversely related to B. So A is inversely related to B, right? This means A is equal to constant. Let constant be K, K over B. This means K is equal to AB. The product is some constant, right? By what percent B will increase if A is decreased by 75%? So usually there are two ways to solve these proportional questions. One way is just simply involving these variables, and the other way is just assuming some values. And for example, for easiness, if I assume value of A as 100 and value of B as 100. So initially, K is equal to 100 into 100, that is 10,000, right? Now the question is saying by what percent B will increase if A is decreased by 75%, right? Okay, so initial value is 10,000. And now if A is decreased by 75%, so what is the new value of A? What is that value? That is 25. And we are asked to find what will be the new value of B. I'm audible, right?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, so the questioning by what percent B will increase, right? So actually we need to find what is the new value of B here. Let's call it B dash. So what will be B dash? That will be 400. So at first we have 100 and now we have 400. So can we find a percentage increase? That is actually percentage change our initial value change, right? So this will be 400 minus 100, our initial, which is 100, multiply by 100. So this will be 300 over 100 into 100. So that will be 300%, not 125%,
Yeah,
right?
I did it for BA, and that was a wrong process.
You can also proceed with the variables, but that will be a bit difficult. So whatever you feel comfortable with, I feel comfortable by assuming values. That is very quick method. Just quickly solve this question. What is the answer to this question? This is just 3 to 4 second question. What is the answer to this question? Be quick.
C.
What?
Answer C.
C. Yes. We have 3x over 7x plus 10. Actually, the x is very much greater value, 20,000, right? So very high value divided by very high value plus extremely small value 10, right? So 7 into 20,000 is very much greater as compared to 10. So we can straightforward neglect 10. So this is just 3x over 7x. X will cancel out. So this will be 3 by 7. But if x is very small, a value near to 10, you cannot ignore 10. But in this scenario, our value of x is way, way greater than 10. That's why we can simply ignore 10 and just solve for 3x over 7x, which is 3 by 7. Right? Okay. So this was another type of question. Okay, try this. Yeah, try this question. Okay, so what's the answer to this question?
B.
B or D?
B.
E.
D. Okay, so one answer is D. Someone is saying
B.
B. Okay, B. Any other answer? First tell me who is solving with me other than these 2 or 3 who are solving and replying. Okay, let's solve this question. we have 4 less than x, x is less than y, and y is less than 8. Okay, so this is a relation provided. The ratio of x to y is 4 to 7, and we are asked to compare y minus x and 3. So let's try to solve this based on some expression. And if we try to simplify this, we can write this as 7x is equal to 4y, right? We can also write this as y is equal to 7x by 4, right? Just substitute this in quantity A, that is y minus x. Y is 7x by 4 minus x. So this will be 7x minus 4x by 4, and this is 3x by 4. Now we have two quantities, quantity A and quantity B. Quantity A is 3x by 4 and quantity B is 3. Now try to simplify this. We have 3 on both sides. Let's divide 3 on both sides. So 3 and 3 will cancel out. So this quantity came out to be x over 4, and this is 1, right? Now we have x over 4 and 1. Let's multiply 4 on both sides, on both of the quantities. This will be x and this will be 4. Now let's see what is actually asked in the question, that 8 is greater than y is greater than x, and x is greater than 4. So based on that, we know that x is greater than 4. That's why the quantity A is greater. Everyone got this? Just come up with
Yes.
a value of y in terms of x, substitute in this, and try to use a mirroring technique for comparing two quantities A and quantity B. At last, you will be left with x and 4, and question itself states that x is greater than 4. That's why quantity A is greater. Okay. This question. Yeah. What is the answer to this question?
D.
Answer D.
You are saying D? Yes. We have x plus 1 over y plus 2 is equal to 1 by 2. In this question, instead of solving, simplifying, just come up with some values for x and y and try to prove the answer is 1 over 2. If x is 1 and y is 2, in that scenario, this will be 2 by 4, which is equal to 1 by 2, right? So in that case, quantity B is greater. Now see the other scenario. If x is, let's suppose, minus 2 and y is, let's suppose, minus 6, right? So this will be minus 2 plus 1 over minus 6 plus 2. This will be, let's make this 4, minus 4. So this will be minus 1 by minus 2, which is 1 by 2. So in that scenario, quantity A is greater. That's why the answer, this is D. A could be greater or B could be greater, unless it is specified that whether these are positive integers, negative integers, non-positive, non-negative, or whatever the scenario is. Okay, so there is one more question. Though I made plenty of questions, but due to shortage of time, I will leave these for you and will solve only one more question. Yeah, just try to solve this question. And I want all of you to solve this question. And this is a very important concept. Try this question. Okay, so what's the answer to this question? Is anyone of you able to crack this question out? No one?
Trying.
In this question, first try to visualize the scenario. We are given that the following table gives some data collected about the population of a town by age. Okay. What is the ratio of the number of people whose age is 18 or greater, but less than 25 to number of people whose age is 25 or greater, but less than 40? Okay, so first try to visualize the scenario. For example, if we have a number line and we have 18, 25, and 40. Let this be 18, 25, and 40. And the situation are less than 18. So for let's less than 18 be, let this be 420. And I am just having showing a hollow circle for not included and a filled circle for included. The next one is 25 years and more. So included and more. This is how much? 510. The third one is 18 year and more. 18 year and more. This is 690. And the last one is less than 40 years. Less than 40 years is equal to how much? Is equal to 810. Now can you find the number of people whose age is 18 or greater, 18 or greater, but less than 25? What is this value?
180.
180, yeah, exactly 180. And the other value is number of people age whose age is 25 or greater inclusive, but less than 40. So what is this value? Anyone? Okay, it is better to try.
210.
Yeah, this is 210. Okay, let's try to do it here. Okay, just give me a second.
So the answer is A.
Yeah, the answer is A. We have a number line and we have 18, 24, 25, and 40. And first thing is less than 18, that is 420. The next one is 25 or greater, that is 510. The third one is greater than 18, greater than or equal to 18, that is 690. And the last one is less than 40, that is 810. First of all, we are asked to find equal to or greater than 18 and less than 25. How can you find that? One way is we have this total value. If we subtract this 510 from 690, we will just come up with this value, right? We have total this value as 690, and to find until this just subtract this value, which is 510. So this will be 690 minus 510 is equal to 180. So we just find this value, which is 180. Now the next part is greater than or equal to 25 and less than 40. So how can we find this now? We know this whole value 810. If we subtract this value and this value, we will just come up with this value. What that mean? I'm saying that this is 810 from
420 minus 180.
Minus 420, this value, and minus what we find right now, that is 180. So what is the answer now? That is 210, right? What we did here, we know all of the until this length, we just subtracted whatever is less than 25. So we just come up with this value. So that is 210, right? So we are asked to find the ratio of these two, 180 by 210, which is 6/7.